Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first lecture of Unit 3. In this lecture, we will be discussing the different approaches that qualitative researchers take to conduct their research. In the previous chapter, we studied about different paradigms, different formative interpretive frameworks. We talked about positivism, constructivism, pragmatisms, the three main paradigms or frameworks that we work on. And we said that each framework have its own ontology, that what they believe in, what is the reality. For example, positives believe that there is only one single reality. Either something is right or wrong, and something is there or something is not there. Then we have constructivism's ontological belief, who say that reality is subjective. One thing can be good for you, other thing can be good for bad for the same thing can be bad for the other person. So there are multiple realities. Whereas pragmatists believe that reality is continuously negotiated, and we should, see that which is the best fit. Then we have the epistemological belief that positivist what is the limitations in the epistemological means that what are the limitations, what can you know about the reality. Then we had axiology. In axiology, we were talking about what are the beliefs of the researcher. We said that in positivist approach, in a quantitative approach, we don't take into account what the researcher believes in. I mean, what he thinks, but we believe more in the empirical results or the statistical results. We don't take into account what the researcher thinks or what is his interpretation. Whereas if we talk about qualitative research, in qualitative research, researcher's own interpretation is very, very important. Although his interpretations is based on the data, by analyzing the data or what the people have said, but his own beliefs and everything is there as well. That is why qualitative is more subjective. Then we had methodology. In methodology, there were different approaches that the researchers might take. If you talk about the methodology of qualitative research, then there are basically five approaches. We have the narrative research, phenomenological research, ethnographical research, grounded theory, and case study research. There can be others as well, but these are the five main approaches. Sometimes we merge the approaches, sometimes we take them in as an individual. We need to understand what are their similarities and what are their differences, and how do we predict which study we are doing. Again, as I said, that the focus of your study mainly determines that whether your research will be quantitative or qualitative. And then in qualitative, it depends that what you are researching on. For example, if we talk about narrative inquiry, so narrative inquiry is any text or discourse that is used in an inquiry. For example, in this, we are talking about the lived example, the lived experiences of the individuals, of the stories of the individuals. For example, biographies, autobiographies, one single inquiry that when we are inquiring about. So if we are researching about the experiences of a single person, by experiences I mean the stories, the a certain kind of a journey that they took place. For example, if we talk about a startup and we are saying that how was the journey for a single person, what is his story in that startup, so that can go into a narrative inquiry. But if we are only researching about his experiences. But then if we come to phenomenological inquiry, in phenomenological inquiry, we talk about the phenomena, we talk about the experiences of different people and its impact. For example, if I want to see what is the impact of online education on the students, so now I am focusing on the experiences of different students on a single phenomena, the online education. So now I would go into phenomenological inquiry. Here we are going to see that what did the individual people experience, and we are going to turn it into a more generalized or a universal essence, that generally these type of students would, I mean, for example, if I'm saying that what is the impact of online education on Pakistani students, so I will go and I will inquire about their experiences in online education, and then I'm going to say that generally Pakistani students feel this about the online education. So again we are researching about their living experiences, like what they have experienced in their lives. Then comes the grounded theory. Sometimes we want to generate theory, we want to discover a theory that goes into the grounded theory. For example, the way we were doing in the inductive reasoning, that we were observing, we were collecting the data, and then we were making a theory. Sometimes there are certain processes going on, there is a certain action going on, but there is not a proper theory that is there. The theory is grounded, so the phenomena is going on, the the process is going on, but it's not a discovered theory. Something is just going on, so we go and we understand what is going on, and then we develop a theory regarding that. So that is what we do in the grounded theory. So if you have like a theoretical framework, like a model kind of way, and but you don't know if that works or not, and you're discovering, so that can be a grounded theory, because you didn't have a theory to develop that, you are still discovering. Then comes the ethnographical research. In the ethnographical research, we study again the experiences of a certain people, but we see that how they are behaving, what their beliefs are, what their culture is. Ethnographical inquiry can go into your marketing research as well, because if you want to market your product in a certain culture, you need to go there, you need to understand their culture, their beliefs, their behaviors, and you need to introduce your products in a way that it's acceptable in their market. For example, during the Ramzan, if the international brands are giving you Ramzan packages, so they have done ethnographical research on you, and they know that what kind of products do you buy in Ramzan, how to appeal to you. So they made their advertisements in the same way, they introduce their products in the same way. So that goes for the ethnographical research, in which we are understanding the entire culture, and we are saying that how, what does a culture believes in, what are their behaviors, what is their language, their shared beliefs. Then we come to the case study inquiry. In case study inquiry, we usually explore a single case, or we compare two or more cases or different cases, and then we see that what exactly happened, the complete process and the experience as well of what was happening. And then we present that case. Okay, for example, if McDonald's survived recession, so we go and we make McDonald's our case. So within that, and in the context of recession, we're going to study how McDonald's survived. So it becomes a case which can be seen as a lesson for other companies, that during recession, how do you survive. So a case by case study. In a nutshell, if I say all the five approaches, so if you are researching on the experience of one person, you are basically doing narrative inquiry. If you are researching on the experiences of different people, then it will be your phenomenological research. If you are researching on the experiences or the processes of a people in a certain culture, who belong to a certain nation or who belong to a certain group, then it would be ethnographical research. But if you are trying to develop a theory, that theory can be based on a process and experiences, you would be going into grounded theory. If you are studying how did people reacted, or what did people do, or what was the process taken in a certain context, then that would go into your case study. In our upcoming units, we will study each type of approach in detail. Thank you.